First of all, we got Mike, Bill, Kevin, and Raj of the Beer Police. First started playing together in high school, is that correct?
Yeah.
Were any of you in a different band before you decided to band together?
Mike and I grew up together.
This is Bill talking.
We grew up together in the same neighborhood, and we just kind of, one day we just air jammed and kissed, probably is what it was.
I think so.
And then dressed up in tights and boots and stuff.
Any of your mom's makeup or anything
in the
like that?
closet that could stay there, man.
Big Kiss fans then.
But yeah, and then one day we just decided to really play, and we had a couple neighborhood kids, you know, play drums and stuff like that. And then as we progressed into high school, we played parties, a lot of parties and things, and we had,
mostly for your friend type thing, or look guys, look what we can do, and just get together
We
we had a lot of
actually,
graduation parties.
I was in a different band, 2 different bands in high school, and at the time, we were kind of rivals with, at the time, Secret Service.
And of course we were better.
which was the band that Mike and Bill were in at that time.
Oh, okay, well, let's get right to the point here. How did you come up with the Beer Police? Is there a funny little story to this one?
Mike's got that one.
Can you say drunk on the air?
Oh, sure.
I was drunk,
And
and it hit me.
it hit you.
The bottom line.
Where were you when you came up with this?
He doesn't remember.
If I had to remember, I probably wouldn't have thought of the name.
Some dorm in St. Cloud or some,
I think it was.
some party house.
I would imagine.
Yeah, that's another interesting thing. Mike and I went to St. Cloud for a while. Played it oh, that's when Raj came in. That's right.
Enter Roger.
Yeah, enter Raj. You came up and you didn't even face the audience the first time we played.
Well, we never rehearsed.
We still never realized.
So Roger's the shy one then.
Yeah,
Well,
but
I
he
had
came out
never
of
been.
the shell.
I had never been in a band or anything. I didn't even play guitar when I was in high school. But I did go to high school with these guys. Me and Mike graduated together.
When did you decide to have a go at the 6th string?
About 3 months out of high school, actually. Started playing.
You went to guitar school, didn't you?
Yes, I did music tech.
You barely graduated, didn't you?
Probably.
So no formal training in grade school in the ukulele or anything?
No.
You just decided one day that I'll go with this instrument.
I would imagine he probably came to a show that Bill and I were playing and fell in love with the concept
Probably.
of stage live.
Look at
I
those
never
guys.
did that.
It's like, God, they could really
Like
use a
just-
guitarist. Mike shouldn't do that.
Somebody stop me.
So that was about the time when we got Roger, and this is about when I decided I wasn't going to be a lead guitarist.
So we have to explain how me and you got together with the Jitters too.
Oh yeah, we had an original band playing down in Minneapolis a lot, all the original clubs, First Avenue and that type of thing. And we were doing what we could to make money, but we never made any. Anyway, we had lost a drummer, and I knew this guy from high school, Kevin, who was on, like we say, I was in the rival band. But I said he could come out and play, and he can fill in on a couple of nights' notice and do a good job. So that was the connection to get this band launched, I think.
So was there a big problem with that? You guys you knew or even friends being rival bands?
There still is.
Yeah. Still have some bitter drummers out there.
Do you have kind of a local following down there then, the same type?
We've got a good carryover crowd from our high school days, and we're gradually expanding. The more bars we play, we're getting some older crowds to like us and enjoy the show, come out again. But Bemidji is our town. We're in Bemidji now, home of the Beaver.
How did you guys, I'm guessing now everyone has musical diversities, how did you get together and say, well, let's go with this style, or
No,
is
we
it
never-
song by song, or
We
is it?
never got together. It was basically because we never ever did rehearse when we first started. It's whatever we could get through.
Yeah.
So
So whatever's easiest.
could you be,
Chord song.
could you be classified as the traditional guys get together in the garage and just jam and just lay down what sounds good?
Very
Matter of
much
fact, that's
an
where we started
extension of it.
Get together with a case of beer and just rock.
And eventually we decided we hated the songs we were playing so much that we would learn some new things. Generally, those weren't even at rehearsals. We'd sit around in the living room and say we've got too much time on our hands, let's learn Nirvana.
Yeah.
So did you run into that maybe in your previous band where you had an idea for a song and somebody just, well, I'm not going that route, I just don't like to play that kind of stuff?
Right.
Well, yeah, sometimes.
We've got a little bit of the melting pot theory. We've got a lot of influences, and we're trying to find our direction. I think still we're writing in a certain vein, and that'll go for a while. Then we say, well, let's try this new influence and do that. And we're trying to still find our common ground.
Yeah, it is kind of interesting. As far as cover songs, we'll take turns if we want to come up with a new cover song or learn one. You know, maybe it'll be my turn to pick the cover song that we want to learn, or maybe it'll be Roger's turn. So
do you have, when you're doing a typical set then, do you kind of have like, well, okay, this is Roger's song now, this one's kind of for him, and the next one maybe will be Mike's song?
I think it's just someone's specific song when we decide to learn it. Someone has the idea that we have to play this new song by so-and-so. And once we get it down where we're comfortable, then it's kind of all our songs. It's not that defined anymore.
Yeah.
Well, like Rebel Yell would be kind of Roger's song because it's primarily guitar, a lot of guitar, but we all play our part in it. You know.
Right. How did I started in a band quite a while ago. We had a really hard time getting going and just starting. Tell me some obstacles you ran into, like money and people not wanting to book you at their place or stuff like that.
Biggest setback was probably the only other thing that was really tough on us starting out was voices cracking with puberty, because Bill and I were both 12 years singing AC/DC and someone's voice would crack, and that tended to not get us gigs. We still have tapes, which I play for Bill every once in a while, just to put him down to earth.
Okay, we'll go again. What else do I want to ask you guys? I want to talk about drumming a little bit, because I'm a drummer. When you were a kid, did your parents encourage it? Did you notice that you started beating on pots and pans and go, well, this kid's going to be a drummer, let's buy him a set, or how did that come about?
That's pretty much the story, actually. When for my 7th birthday, my parents bought me a used 5-piece drum set because I was beating on everything, you know, I could get my hands on, or tapping, I'd have drumsticks, and I was...
In school, where you're always grabbing your pens and pissing the teachers off. And
then I joined middle school band in 5th grade in Orono. The band started from 5th grade, you know, on through 12th grade, and I was in the percussion section, all from 5th grade through 12th grade. Mm-hmm. So that helped me, you know, with my rudiments and timing and stuff a lot.
Yeah.
And I played in jazz ensembles and, you know, stuff like that in high school.
When did you realize or want to progress into your own band? When did you think you had the right stuff to progress? Because I started out in high school also. I got the rudimentary stuff down and really wasn't confident enough in myself to be in a band. I thought I got the basics down. I can keep the 4/4 time, but when did you, what was the changing point where you really wanted to get in a band and cut loose? Was it when you got your own set and you really...
I know when it was. Can I answer for Kev?
Go ahead.
There was a band up at one of the local little town festival, and they'd usually have like a high school band playing. And I was up there watching them, and I remember Kevin sitting in on the drums with this band, and he was better than the drummer that was 6 or 7 years older than him.
On Corn Days?
Yep, that's when I knew.
That's
when I knew Kevin was ready to go.
Yeah, it's like, wow, who's that little kid?
Yeah, he just kicked that guy. That guy must have just felt 2 inches tall because he just got shut down in front of festival crowds.
Not here. Give me those 6-pack.
Yeah, I remember my older sister used to have parties at our house, and all of her friends would ask, you know, go have your little brother play the drums. You know, they'd throw on an AC/DC record or something, and I'd, you know, play along with it. But the first rock band I was in 9th grade, and all the other guys in the band were older than me, so I kind of felt good about that. But it just progressed from there. All through high school, we were playing in rock bands, and
That's interesting. I played trumpet.
yeah, and Bill played trumpet in high school.
For like 8.
A good friend of mine, when I started a band in high